right, another hot topic that comes up frequently is having a conversation with your partner about being touched out without offending them, without making them feel undesired, unwanted. This is a really common struggle, especially when you have a young child, but I think it also goes throughout the years because you're still having areas and ways that your body's exhausted. You have this loss of autonomy. You're not feeling seen as a whole person. You're having confusion about your changed bodies. Like, mamas, this is a really difficult season for a lot of people. So I want to validate that. I want to share about that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this was like for us and offer you guys some ideas on how to continue the conversation and enrich the connections. What I hear from a lot of women is that they just have this first time in their lives, or second or third, depending on how many kiddos you have right now. But this time where you have a loss of autonomy, you are no longer just making decisions for yourself. Your body is not just about you anymore. You are feeling, like it's just everyone needs me. I'm overwhelmed with being needed and maybe unseen in some other ways. And let's be honest, like, as women, our body image is ingrained into us for years. To have a certain idea of what it should be, how it should look, how it should feel. And having a baby really does change a lot of things. And so that can create almost a disconnect. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was difficult in the beginning because I didn't understand. I didn't really know what you were experiencing. But through time, I eventually, really picked up on it, I think, because the way your body changed was amazing to me, that you're able to grow another human being inside of you, and then nurse that living baby,
Well, and on top of that, it's my body's not even my own.
Yeah.
Okay, I have this little baby who is so dependent on me. Okay, I'm going to give all of myself to this baby. But now I have this grown-ass man who also wants to touch my boobs or also wants to interact with my body, and it's just worn out.
Yeah, and I get that because, to some degree enough, I think, because I have spent a couple days with the kids. Maybe they were sick or something. I don't remember, and they needed a lot of, care, physical, being consoled and held. And you came home after a day out and you were raring to go. And I was like, whoa, I am not in a sex space at all. Like, I've been a caretaker for little kiddos, and I'm going to have some transition here before I can think that way. So that was a big surprise to me because I was always coming home being like, why don't you want to have sex? I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah.
So the tables were turned for me.
Yeah, and I mean, not to the full extent.
Sure. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Nobody was popping out your vag and using your boobs, but
that's true.
I do appreciate the sentiment of trying to enter into that space and knowing what it might feel like to have the whole, just like 24/7 loss of autonomy.
Yeah, I feel like it would, for sure.
So it's
Absolutely.
crazy. And I remember, I think I've even said this to you, like, you are a grown man. I don't care what. Just take care of yourself. I cannot be needed. I don't want to be touched.
Right.
Don't even look at me. And so that is this kind of misunderstanding. I think that became offensive sometimes. Like, that's how you knew how to connect. And what I was saying to you sounded like, I don't care to connect with you.
Yeah, that's
and what I was saying was like, I'm sorry, I have nothing. I have nothing to give.
Completely empty. There's nothing here.
So I could either just fake my way through it and be miserable and just wish you weren't touching me, or I could say something has to change, or I need some space, or I need eventually realize, like, I need a transition period. I need a time to, maybe it's when the kid takes a bottle for a feeding.
Yeah.
And I take a shower and I'm able to just, like, know that my body is mine still.
Yeah, and I think, for guys, or, the whoever the partner would be, and if in this situation, if the same dynamic is there, is going to be, a time, and I'm really not trying to, like, play into, like, traditional roles or anything, but there is something here for the partner who has not given birth and who is not being needed by littles, because there's this sort of like, you've got to show up in the partnership and provide what your partner needs to get back to themselves, you know? So that's like, hey, I'm home. I'm going to take the kids for an hour. You go take a walk, take a bath, read a book, whatever you need. Like, that would be really helpful. That didn't usually work out for us because I was working so late and coming home and the kids were in bed. But, you know, so like, we did that a few times for sure. I remember. But being able to do that, or even thinking like, not only that transition period, like a small one, but this whole season is a transition period. And so to be able to be aware of that as the partner and help give space for your partner to really find themselves again is important. That's crucial. That's a way of showing love. And yeah, I mean, sex isn't the whole of the relationship.
Ooh, right. So, our to-dos, our conversations, our things that we invite you to take from this. Number one, make sure that both partners understand body changes. I cannot say this enough. Like, your OB may or may not even teach you about this stuff. So many women give birth and don't understand the full range of their body, hormone, physical healing, all of these changes in the duration of that, which is not just a couple weeks or 6 weeks. It is years of recovery. So if so few women really truly understand this, the reality is that so few partners who have not been the ones giving birth don't understand this. So take some time together to learn. It might be here inside this group. It might be in a different space where you're learning about what those true hormonal physical changes are. The second one, I think that mom should lead on this, is to make a list of touch and physical intimacy that you are both okay with. Okay, so this is like, honey, I'm okay with having my shoulders rubbed while I'm nursing, or, you know, while we're watching TV together, or let's just make sure that we snuggle up instead of being on our phones while we both watch a show in the evening, something like that. But continue to revise and modify this. It's going to change for you, but you have to be clear about your no's in order to have good yeses when it comes to that physical intimacy and connection.
Just being able to still connect in other ways is I think really valuable, because most men, whether it's biological, physiological, or cultural or whatever, the go-to, right, is sex, right? And so to be able to step back and be a little more of a gentleman, right? And provide love and affection in other ways that aren't going to be just
Wham, bam. Yeah.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's really...
Yeah, which was our last point we talked about here, is just prioritizing other forms of intimacy to stay connected. Intimacy is not just boom. Intimacy is having those times where you're feeling each other breathe, or you're relaxing together, or you're emotionally and mentally connecting. Yeah,
and I think some of that, like, is explorative, right?
Yeah.
Like, just explore each other in those safe spaces. Hold each other. Do a long hug. Rub each other's shoulders. Do something like that. Because, I mean, we can throw ideas out, but ultimately what you want to find is your own sort of locus, right, in your relationship. And that takes, like, just exploring with each other. Yeah. So early on, without kids, a relationship was a certain way, and you explored your relationship. But now that you have kids, it's such a dramatic change for your identity. Like, you really have to relearn each other and relearn your ways of loving. And I think that it doesn't, for a season, sex is less, right? Like, that's just the truth. But it comes back, and it comes back with all of these other expressions that you built in the season where sex was just not an easy go-to.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that makes sex better in the long run if you have these other forms of connection that take root. And I'll end with one thing based on what you just shared. I think we should also talk about normalizing saying, you know what, we tried that, that's just not working for me right now, or that didn't feel good for me, or that didn't work, and it's not personal, you know? Right. I think especially when we first had sex the first couple of times after our first, I would be like, oh God, no, ow, God, that's horrible.
Right.
And you were like, oh, is it me? Like, what did I do? What did I do? And so we have to have these conversations about, we have to be able to interrupt or say no or stop something or change something when it's not working for both people. And that doesn't have to be an offense on either side.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Rooting for you. And can't wait to hear what other forms of intimacy that you are prioritizing in your relationship and how you continue to work through the touch out.